Ethiopia's history with media is long and complicated. Welcome back to our channel. This is Independent Voice. Today, we're diving into a topic that impacts all of us: truth in the digital age. As misinformation spreads like wildfire, it's more important than ever to arm ourselves with the tools to discern fact from fiction. Let's get started and uncover the reality behind the headlines. Media in general has been controlled differently in the 1900s. What people could see and hear on the radio, TV, and newspapers was somewhat censored or vetted. But then, the internet changed everything. Social media, especially Facebook, became super popular. Ethiopians, like everyone else, started using these online spaces to share news, talk about things, and connect with loved ones. It felt like a new time of freedom, where anyone could speak their mind. But this new freedom had a dangerous side the world couldn't fathom. The same technology that brought people together could also tear them apart, even destroy them. The internet, especially social media, has become a place where false information, hateful words, dangerous ideas, and impersonation can spread quickly. The recent conflicts all around Ethiopia that ravaged the country made the devastation social media can create abundantly clear. The war in northern Ethiopia, a devastating conflict that started in 2020, showed the worst side of social media. Facebook and Twitter especially became a weapon. Social media forums were used to spread lies, push political propaganda, and incite violence, sending the remnants of humanity into an abyss of indecency. Gruesome pictures and videos, often showing violent acts, filled people's feeds. It appeared that the social media web was unable to distinguish all the bad content from the good ones. Their systems, designed to find and remove harmful contents and images, could not understand nor keep up with the different languages spoken in Ethiopia. This issue might be the case for all other languages. However, we are focusing on the languages of Ethiopia. Posts that encouraged violence stayed up for days, sometimes even weeks. This lack of control had consequential effects on the real lives of the people. There are several examples of social media failure, where harmful content spread all over like wildfire. Harmful information stayed online for an extended period of time, even though many people reported it. This led to an unconscionable fallout, including violence that claimed so many lives. People were furious at the lack of control and the inability of these metadata companies to respond swiftly. These types of incidents were not isolated to Ethiopia. One can surmise that they impacted the global community. Reports and critics indicated that these companies seemed to care more about their profit margin than the detrimental impact of harmful content. It is also commented that some may have been aware that the mechanism for controlling harmful content in foreign languages was inadequate. These social media forums weren't ready for the massive influx of diverse users on their platforms, or to fix the glaring issue of potentially harmful content being disseminated. At least from the outside, they didn't appear to have the capacity to handle the vast number of languages to the standard required to handle the complexity and nature of their products. One can deduce that growing the profit margin within a growing demographic proved to be a higher priority than protecting people in poorer countries. What is currently occurring with social media in Ethiopia and around the globe is a stark warning of a debacle the world is unprepared to tame. It shows us that technology isn't always good or straightforward. It can be used to help people or hurt them. Social media companies, including those using them to disseminate or benefit from information, often undermine people's safety. We must demand better control mechanisms from the big tech companies that manage these powerful tools. They must be held accountable for the bad things their products cause. The stability of Ethiopia and the whole world depends on it. We must make these online spaces safe for everyone, not just English speakers or people in rich countries. If we don't, hate and division will show their ugliness and will tarnish the history of humanity for generations to come. TikTok and YouTube, among other platforms, have also become significant players in the spread of misinformation in Ethiopia and the rest of the world. These platforms have struggled to control the spread of false information and harmful content. TikTok's short video format makes it easy for sensational and misleading content to go viral quickly. YouTube, with its vast reach and recommendation algorithms, often amplifies controversial and divisive content. Both platforms have been criticized for not doing enough to monitor and remove harmful content in languages other than English. Although they all are making strides towards a better management, the impact of the loss of control has been profound, contributing to social unrest and further polarized communities. There is a growing and ongoing demand for these companies to take more responsibility and implement better measures to protect users from misinformation and harmful content. The challenge before us is immense. We must hold these tech giants accountable and ensure they do not profit at the expense of truth and unity. We must also hold those who utilize these forms equally responsible, whether content creators or social media consumers. Regardless of which side of the political or ethnic divide social media consumers are standing, those spewing hateful rhetoric, making threats, antagonizing, and divisive content must be adequately vetted and held liable. One must know there is a fine line that must not be crossed, even within the premise of freedom of speech. Whether it's the government of Ethiopia or the social media companies must take swift action to handle better the looseness and chaotic use of social media forums to avoid the fallout that is brewing due to political, ethnic, or gender-based conflict. That said, there's another conversation to be had. There is no doubt that social media has become an integral part of modern journalism, serving as both a tool for reporting and a platform for public discourse. However, a critical approach is also required to ensure the integrity and accuracy of the information shared. Even in social media, where there isn't a required certification, claiming the title of a journalist involves several key requirements and responsibilities, though these can vary by region and context. Here are some common considerations one should embrace when embarking in the world of journalism. The fundamental requirement that must be taken into consideration is a solid grasp of journalistic ethics and principles, such as accuracy, fairness, balance, and accountability. Journalists should strive to report the truth and verify information before dissemination. A self-identified journalist should demonstrate a commitment to gathering and reporting news through original reporting, interviews, or analysis. Such a claim involves actively engaging with current events and producing content that informs the public. One must also take pride in the work and show integrity to continue earning the trust of content users. Journalists are expected to fact-check their sources and verify information before sharing it. Fact-checking is especially crucial in the era of social media, where misinformation can spread rapidly. Good journalistic practice involves transparency about sources, motivations, and potential conflicts of interest. Transparency helps build trust with the audience. Social media journalists often interact with their audience, fostering dialogue and responding to feedback. Such engagement can enhance the credibility of their reporting. Adhering to ethical standards is vital. Ethical standards include respecting privacy, avoiding sensationalism, and carefully portraying sensitive topics. The media landscape is constantly evolving, especially with the rise of digital platforms. Anyone claiming the title must stay informed about current events, media trends, and technological advancements. Unlike some traditional journalism roles that may require formal education or certification, social media journalism often does not have strict licensure requirements. However, many successful journalists have formal training in journalism or related fields. which can indicate their commitment to the quality of their journalistic work. As far as the consumers of social media go, one must always consider the source. Ultimately, while anyone can claim the title of journalist, it is vital to understand the immense responsibility that comes with it. Upholding ethical standards and a commitment to truthful reporting is crucial for credibility and integrity in the field. Every social media consumer also has a role and responsibility in addressing issues, in vetting misinformation and disinformation, as it is crucial and multifaceted. Here are several key aspects of how they can contribute to or help control these challenges. Consumers must cultivate critical thinking skills to assess the credibility of information. They can avoid spreading false narratives by questioning sources, checking facts, and evaluating the context of posts. Before sharing content, consumers can take the initiative to verify facts through reputable sources. Verifying information involves cross-referencing, seeking out trusted news organizations, or fact-checking websites. Understanding and recognizing personal biases in the content consumed is essential. Consumers should strive to engage with diverse perspectives to gain a more comprehensive view of issues. Many social media platforms have mechanisms for reporting misleading or false content. Consumers can play an active role in flagging misinformation, helping to reduce its visibility and impact. Engaging in constructive conversations about misinformation can help clarify misunderstandings and promote a culture of accountability. Consumers can encourage others to think critically and challenge misleading claims. Consumers can amplify and share content from reputable journalists and organizations that adhere to ethical standards. By prioritizing quality over sensationalism, they contribute to a healthier information ecosystem. Misinformation often plays on emotions to provoke strong reactions. Consumers should be mindful of their emotional responses to content and evaluate its credibility before sharing it. Consumers can advocate for social media companies to take more responsibility for the content shared on their platforms. Advocacy includes supporting policies that promote transparency, reduce the spread of misinformation, and protect users from harmful content. Generally speaking, social media consumers hold significant power in shaping the information landscape. By actively engaging in responsible consumption, verification, and advocacy, they can contribute to controlling the spread of misinformation and disinformation, ultimately fostering a more informed and resilient public discourse. Only then can we hope to build a digital world where information uplifts rather than destroys, and where every community, regardless of language or location, is safe from the perils of misinformation. Here is a special note. It is crucial for the international community and decision-making bodies, including politicians, to recognize that information sourced from social media requires rigorous fact-checking and careful consideration of its origins before being utilized in policy-making or public discourse. The rapid and persistent spread of misinformation on these platforms can lead to misguided decisions and exacerbate tensions, ultimately impacting global stability and trust in institutions. By prioritizing verifying social media content and critically assessing its credibility, leaders can ensure that their actions are informed by accurate information. This fosters more responsible and effective governance that upholds the principles of truth and accountability. This approach not only safeguards the integrity of democratic processes, but also reinforces public confidence in institutions, promoting a more informed citizenry that can engage constructively in societal issues. In an age where the line between fact and fiction is increasingly blurred, the responsibility to approach social media information with caution and diligence has never been more vital. This is Independent Voice. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, staying informed is our best defense against misinformation. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.